Welcome, 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 everybody. I am so excited about today's episode. Today, we are doing the 1-year anniversary for Outpost Gray, which is in collaboration with Grant Thornton. So if you're new here, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you. I'm your host, Jack Scott. For everybody else and all my repeat offenders that I already see filling up the chat, so excited for you guys to be here. We have an exciting guest. And fun fact, she was actually one of my very first live streams that I did. I will actually drop that link in the chat here shortly because I think it would be cool to watch. And you can see the difference. It's drastic. So really excited. If you guys don't know, we just hit 1,000 followers or subscribers. So really excited about that. We're at like 11, I don't know, 13, 1.3 is I think what YouTube said. So I'm like really excited about that right now. But before we jump into it and we get the guests on the show, for anybody that's new here, I just want to let you know that every Thursday, you see right here, every Thursday we go live from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what I do is provide you information in cybersecurity, technology, and innovation. And I do it by providing you one-on-one interviews, fireside chats, or panel discussions. So next week, we actually have a highlight series. So next week is part of our highlight series, and it's called The Female Voice of Technology and Innovation. And I have the great opportunity to highlight Sonia Moisette, who is a big, huge contributor in this space in cybersecurity. Go and check her out. I mean, this woman is making a ton of moves. I'm super excited to have her on the show next week. And then just to let you know, every Friday morning at 9 a.m., I drop the CyberFed News Roundup, which is the cybersecurity news for that week, all about like the federal space. So I love the show. It's typically 7 minutes or less. Shout out to my contributors. I've got James Driscoll, who is helping with that content. He helps write a couple of the stories every single week. So thank you, James, for all of your contribution that you do for the CyberFed News Roundup. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about our amazing guests. I'm so excited. So Lola and I, and we'll dive into this too. We met over a year ago, right around June, July, because I was going on a show called Cyber and Security, which is Neil Bridges' show. If you guys know him, if you don't, you need to know him. But another really big contributor and influencer in the space. And she had reached out to me. We connected prior to the show. And then I did the show. And then her and I just kind of stayed connected. And Neil is the reason that I have a YouTube channel, because he had like mentored me and kind of pushed me into the role. And I was doing a lot of pre-records. And you guys will see that if you kind of scroll down on my videos. I did a lot of pre-records. It takes a lot of time to edit. And I'm like, man, I need to do something that's going to be a little bit easier. And Gerald Ozier was like, I do live streams. Maybe that's something you can consider. And I like was really terrified, not going to lie. So what did I do? I reached out to Lola because her energy is just so contagious. And I'm like, hey, will you be a guest on my show? And I don't even know if I told her that she was my first guest. But of course, she said yes. And the rest is history. It was just a great time. The interview was a lot of fun. So definitely go check that out. But Lolo has a fascinating story. She was a pro ballerinist. I don't know if you say ballerinist, but I'm using that word now. And then she got into this devastating car accident, which we're going to talk about, which transformed her entire life and her identity. And she really had this point in her life where she had to pivot and make a career change and doing something today that she probably never thought she was going to be doing. She probably thought she was going to still be dancing. So we're going to dive into that. But without further ado, I know you guys are ready to get the guests on the show. So for some reason, I cannot get this off the screen. Okay, figured that out. Technical errors over here. All right, you guys ready for this? Let's go ahead and everybody, please welcome your guest to the show, Miss Lola. Here we go. What up?
Hi, Jack.
It's dark where you're at. So tell everybody where you're calling in from right now, just so they know.
I am currently located in Tokyo, Japan, so it's a little bit late. That's why the dark environment here.
It is. I like it though. You got the mood lighting going on and everything. I love it.
Yeah.
And you got your I and E going on, repping the I and E.
Yeah, got my INE coffee also because being up so late, I need some nice coffee to drink too.
I love that. Wow,
But
it's been a
before we start,
yeah.
let me congratulate you for your happy for 1 year anniversary. I can't believe it. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a
I
wild
can't
ride.
believe it. Time flies. I can't believe it has been 1 year since
Yeah,
I was here last. Time flies. Like
yeah. I know. I remember I was talking to
congratulations. I mean, your channel has grown so much. It has become like that source of fun interviews and all kinds of great content that you have posted. Like, congratulations.
thank
Really,
you.
you have done an amazing job. You are just
Oh,
gonna keep growing.
yeah, I do. Kimberly's like, I remember. Yeah, I remember. Like, it was so kind of you to be like, yeah, I'll be on your show. And then I just remember there were individuals that would come to the live streams, and I always had I had like three people or four people, and two of them was it would be the same person logging in and watching from two different like YouTube logins. And now we're getting like 30 and 40 people and like live streaming and then, up to 1,000 views. So it's definitely grown. But you were that first one that definitely came on, and a lot has changed in a year, like a ton, not just with the YouTube, but life for you even. And I'd love to
Yeah,
talk about
I
let's
think
talk
for the
about
both of us, right?
yeah. Yeah, it's been wild. I mean, I went through a TBI clinic and everything. So for today's show,
No,
I just want to talk about what's happened in the last year, like from the last show to where we are today. I mean, you're still working at INE. You've kind of done
still
a little
working.
bit of a pivot in your career field because you went in like really red team, like hard red
Exactly.
team. Yeah. So let's
So
talk.
that's why I started when I started in cybersecurity, when I got interested in the field. Like same as I think many people. I started by no, first I started by studying like IT fundamentals, which I knew, but from a user perspective, which was a little bit different if you wanted to make this as a career. So I started by learning IT fundamentals like networking, Linux, and whatnot. And then I started like channeling my interest to like cybersecurity, offensive security, pen testing. Uh, and that yeah, so from that was like almost 2 years ago, like
Yeah.
long. uh yeah, and right now I'm in a very different position. I mean, my mentality has changed, and I would say that not only I kind of let myself be led about what my job demands of me, what my responsibilities are, like how I can serve my company better.
Hmm.
So that led to a whole new set of skills that I had to really, you know,
Yeah.
learn.
Hmm.
Yeah. So if you had told me like a while back that I will be like in compliance in cloud security, I was gonna say like nah, never gonna happen.
You're
But
like,
it
I'm a
did.
ballerina. I don't do that. Yeah. Okay, let's talk a little bit about that. If you don't mind sharing your story with the individuals that may not know it, like you were a pro dancer, ballerinist.
Yes,
That's
classical
right.
ballet. I started
Yeah.
when I was 3 years old. I started studying music, studying classical ballet, and that's what like I said in the previous interview. That was my whole life. I mean,
Wow.
my life was centered on only doing that. And when I had that life changing car accident that put me like into rehab for 2 years only to be back on my feet, I was completely lost because
Mhm.
I didn't know how to do anything else. When you don't even have like you have only a basic education and you're highly skilled in only one thing or two, but music too.
Yeah.
I did, yeah, yeah, and that gets taken from you. It's like, well, my life is over. What I'm gonna do with it?
Yeah,
But
you had to re
when I was on my that low part of my life after I got out of rehab and I really didn't know what to do with my life, I met someone that became my husband later on. But with his support and everything. But after you get married and you start like a married life, you move to a whole different country like I did. You don't want to stay home only. You need you like even for your own self esteem. You want to like be productive, do something. I have always been a very independent person. So what am I gonna do? I don't know how to do anything.
yeah.
So I started, yeah, and since I always as a user, I always like computers, like playing games and whatnot, being on the internet. So I started exploring this side. Maybe there's something, a job that I can do. I didn't know. And to make this story short, like on YouTube, I started seeing some videos about cybersecurity, ethical hacking. I was like, oh, really? What's that? That's how it started. Like
Yeah, that's
fast forward many months later, like fast forwarding it, like many months later, when I was already studying and I was already on INE, but as a student, because I was preparing for the EJPT, was when I came in contact with cyber insecurity, our beloved Neil Bridges. So, and he like a few months later, like after I started watching his streams and everything, he gave the community an opportunity to apply for an internship with him, and I applied. Like I applied in the last day. He had a deadline that we needed to like write business cases, like explaining like what we
that's
wanted with
cool.
this internship and whatnot. And I had no idea. Like, what I don't even know what a business case is, to be honest. So I did my own thing. I wrote some things that to this
Wow.
day, I need to ask him that. Like,
Yeah,
what
I
did
want to
you
see
choose
this.
me? It's like, why?
Yeah, that's a good
And I
question.
was like, amongst many applications, I was one of the chosen ones. And that internship was, um, yeah, it changed a lot of things for me. It started kind of opening my mind a little bit that cybersecurity was not offensive security only. There were many more aspects. And he made sure to show me that, because my first assignment in the internship was to read the whole NIST
Oh
framework,
God,
like
yes.
400 pages.
That's so bad to do that. That's so
No,
overwhelming, and that's
and
like,
I'm so thankful he did,
yeah,
because all the security policies that I have developed now professionally, like, are based on things that I started learning on that internship. So I'm eternally grateful. I mean, Neil, shout out Neil if you ever watch this. Uh, great person in my career. He's like couldn't have
yeah,
done it without him.
yeah. We wouldn't be here today on this YouTube platform if it wasn't for Neil
Yes,
Bridges.
exactly, because we met through him.
Yeah,
One more
and
thing we need
yeah,
to be thankful.
yeah. We met through him, and he's the reason that this show is even happening right now. Is for his encouragement and push, and because he believes in so many people, and he believed in you, and he saw your potential even before you saw. And that's what I love about the
Oh, he
story. Is
still
like,
does. He
yeah,
still
oh, of
does, because we
course,
still meet. Maybe even though, I mean, I tell him he is my mentor. He's my advisor. He's my former boss. He's a colleague, and most of all, he's a friend. You know. And to this day, we meet. We have like virtual coffees. We have one-on-ones, and he's still like my source of confidence, my source of self-esteem. I'm like here all relaxed with my cup of coffee, and like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. He's like, why? I'm like, I'm new. He's like, you're not new anymore. You were new like a year, 1 year ago, 1 year and a half ago. You were new. You're not new anymore. And you know exactly what you're doing. Don't, yeah, he is awesome.
yeah. He doesn't. He definitely doesn't like BS. He tells you exactly, like, he tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, and that's what makes him such a great individual, in my opinion. Great human, great soul, and he's very supportive of
Yep,
the community. He wants to uplift. He
he
wants to
is.
support. Like, he's really big into the cyber game or U.S. Cyber Games, Kimberly McKnight.
U.S.
Shout out
Cyber
to the U.S.
Games,
Cyber
yeah.
Games. Yep, big
Yeah,
involvement in
they
there.
do an amazing job at the U.S. Cyber
Yeah,
Games. Yeah,
yeah.
I have been a speaker twice already in their events. And they are always lots of fun to participate in. Awesome.
Yeah, so let's go back a little bit. So you were a ballerina. That was your identity. You know, when you had an identity crisis, which happens when that is something like you put your blood, sweat, and tears into that. This accident happened, and you have to like find your identity again. And you were saying that you saw something, an ad about like pin testing and cybersecurity, and you kind of jumped into it. When you started first getting into that space, did you know right away, like, this is what I love, this is what I want to do? Or were you kind of like tiptoeing? Because that happens a lot of times. People kind of tiptoe around to like kind of get their feel if this is the right field for them. But then some people just
No,
know right
I
away.
didn't. I didn't. I said no. That's it. That's what I'm gonna do, and I just went in. No, I didn't tiptoe at all.
That's
And
awesome.
actually, I wish I hadn't. And like these days now, when people contacting me asking to be like mentored a little bit, like asking me questions, they want to start in I tell, and I don't know, because sometimes you have to experience things for yourself, no matter how much someone who's more experienced than you tells you things. Maybe you don't believe them, and then
Hmm.
like many months or years later, you're like, oh, that person was right. And I know because I was one of them. So I tell these people to do some things that I wish that I had done myself when I started. You know, I wish I
Hmm.
had done it. I just dove in, and I don't maybe I don't know if I was very good pen tester, but people say I was I'm good, but I don't know about that. But anyways, I wish I had researched more, and that's what I always try to advise anyone who contacts me
I
to,
like that.
yeah, research a lot about the different roles, you know,
Hmm.
because there are
Yeah.
so many. You know, cybersecurity is in all aspects. It can be tied of all kinds of industry. It can be financial. It can be medical. It can be, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you can have cybersecurity roles that are tied even to an experience that yeah, if you are switching careers, you have a skill set in another industry that you can bring into cybersecurity and combine it. You don't need to completely abandon what you were doing. Maybe you're not like switching careers from something so radical as I did. Like
Yeah.
I was an artist, it had nothing to do with cybersecurity. But that might not be the case, and people become so fascinating with this world that I feel that the media portraits of the hacker, the ethical
Hmm.
hacker, is you know, is
With the
a
hoodie.
fan.
And you're in a dark
Exactly,
room and
exactly,
hacking away. And it's not, that's just
exactly,
this much of like the overall
precisely,
feel.
exactly. So I know that I did that. I saw so many videos, and that's what you see the most content about. And I did not take the time to research anything else. To me, that's what I'm going to study, and I'm going to become good at that. And I spend like, and don't get me wrong, I cherish the experience that I got, all the skills that I learned. I mean, that technical mentality that even though I'm now like gearing towards a little bit a little bit a different
Mhm,
area of cybersecurity, I still carry my technical skills, my technical mindset is useful. It's not something that, oh, okay, I don't want it anymore. I will forget about it. No, it's useful. But I feel that people need to come into the industry with a little bit more of information
mhm.
about what it is, what it offers, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. And cybersn.com is a great resource. I'll drop it in chat for everybody. Cybersn.com. Deidre Diamond, this is actually her baby. I love this. I just actually sent this out. I think I shared it on a post this week, and I sent it in a private message. When individuals reach out to me and they go, trying to break into the industry, can you help me? I almost always send them two things: personality test, because I think it's very important to know, like, What is your personality? What do you tend to lean towards? Are you a leader? Are you analytical? Like, are you a problem solver? That's going to help dictate what you're going to ideally be good at. And then I send them to CyberSN to hone their career. And what that means is I tell them to scroll down, look at what's available, look at the responsibilities associated with those jobs, and pick three, like max three, two preferably, but pick three that you think that you're going to like. And then I say, go and talk to somebody at a mid-level that's doing that job, that's done it for a year and a half to at least 3 years. Because as you know, it takes about that year and a half in that new role for you to figure out your life. Like for me, I'm like, I love GRC. I still call myself fairly new in this space. I'm over, like, I launched my company last year doing this, but like really doing it, I would say I could give myself a year, maybe a little bit more of GRC specifically, not just cybersecurity. Girl, there are some days that I'm like, this is rough, but where I was and where I am, I can now, like, I love what I'm doing, but it takes a good year and a half before you can really like say like, I understand this job enough to be able to mentor you and tell you what that day to day is going to look like. Because you recently did like a pivot, you're more in the blue space now. And how do you feel that's going for you? Like, do you feel like that shift is kind of like the learning curve is really strong?
Yeah, because yeah, like I told you, I didn't. If I had kept a closed mind, okay, I joined the company. Okay, I my skill set is a pen tester skill set and offensive security. I'm gonna only do that. But due to the nature of my company, I needed to know more than only that. I needed to fill some gaps in there, and I said, okay, that's needed. Fine, I'll learn it. So that allowed me to start like turbo educating myself in other fields, and I started enjoying them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like as of like right now, I am in charge of the company's compliance and compliance efforts and whatnot. And what I learn daily, of
Yeah.
course, I don't like you said, I'm fairly new. Yes, I'm fairly new too. But just keep learning. You have to keep researching, be
Hmm.
patient,
I think that's the biggest thing
and
too, is like letting people know, like, this field, you have to be hungry and passionate and like knowing that you're never going to stop learning. I feel like it's the medical field. You know, those doctors that are so hyper focused in their field, but they've quit the learning process. And you can tell because they go to the first thing that's off the shelf, at least within the United States. They're very big, like, okay, well, you have depression, so we're just going to give you an antidepressant. But you can tell the difference between those doctors, like, do their research and they're like, oh, you're depressed. Well, let's do some blood work and examine some other things. That I feel like is very like cybersecurity. If you don't stay abreast of all the changing environment, you're going to be super siloed in your research. You're only going to have so much because adversaries are changing, TTPs are changing, technology is merging or emerging at such a rapid pace. Like, it is so critical. But that brings up another point. Like, it's so critical to stay like abreast of all the information. But Lola, what do you do about getting burned out? Because I know for me, it's like almost like information overload. So how do you balance like staying abreast of current events but not getting burnt out?
but like I told you, I let my company needs me to do in the way that I can serve. I try to keep like focus on that because I feel that like for now, you know that things change and things evolve. But for now, just thinking, how can I serve my company? How can I fulfill my job responsibilities? And thinking of strategy, I think that it goes what you just said. Personality. If you combine what kind of person you are with your job. I mean, one thing that I attracted me a lot about the whole blue team compliance and everything is the whole strategy that you have to think. how to like what best strategy suits the company that you are
Mhm.
in, because not all the same. The framework might be the same, but you have to adapt that framework to make it like a bit of customization to your company. And I like that. I find it fascinating. So that kind of, I don't feel, there are days that I'm very stressed. Oh, how can I get that team of people to cooperate with my compliance? Why are they not complying yet?
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
it happens. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone, no matter which field they are in, they get stressed. But since I like the whole strategy part of the job, I find it fun.
Yeah.
So it helps me not. I think I felt a little bit more stressed when I was fully concentrated on offensive security. But now that I'm maybe like going towards something that perhaps fits my personality a little better,
Mhm.
like a little being in charge. Okay, this is my strategy. I will do this. I will get these people together. I will tell this person what I need. We get together. We think
Mhm.
of a plan of action and we do that. And I
Yeah.
will organize the whole thing. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. No,
So
and
that
that's
helps me since I think it suits my personality better. It makes me feel less burned out, less stressed. And then when I'm done with the job, I'm done with the work, I clock out and like, okay, done. I'm
you're
not working
done.
today anymore. Then I go and I start playing a game that is a train management game called Rail Nation, not sponsored. That is a strategy. It's a strategy game. I'm like, okay, here I am, like doing strategy as a hobby too.
That's awesome. I want to know about this game.
Not
Yeah.
sponsored.
Yeah, I play Threat Gen, Red versus Blue. If y'all are going to be part of the competition in a couple of weeks, so it's a offensive defensive game, and yeah, it's definitely opened my eyes to a lot of things. It's fun. I love how they've gamified cybersecurity learning. I think it's really really critical in the space to do that. Phil was posting. I want to pivot on something Phil just said, and hey Phil, thanks for stopping in. I know he said he's in between meetings right now, but he had dropped in the chat talking about politics and inner office politics. And you work in a space where you were just talking about like trying to get the users to do what you're trying, like update, patch, do the things to keep us secure. And some of the things that you have to worry about when you're in that space is being politically correct, because you can't just tell the CEO like, hey, stop everything and update this right now. So you have to approach it with finesse. Anybody really in the organization, because you
And
don't.
this is by far my weakest point.
I think it's a lot
Because
of people.
due to my neurodiversity, I have quite a peculiar way of communicating with people, and I feel that I communicate in a very completely. I kind of try to observe, like going like on our chat platform, how my coworkers communicate to each other, and if they get like good results through this kind of communication, because obviously mine is not working. So I
Yeah,
try to emulate the way that they communicate to see if I get the same results. For example, I see one person talking to the other person, and the person number one got the person number two to do something,
yeah,
talking to them a certain way. I'm like, maybe if I talk that way too, I can get my people to do it too. That's how you have to think, because obviously the way that I'm communicating, I'm not getting very good results. This is so far my hardest. What personally, what I consider like giving my own nature, the hardest part of the job is the human factor,
yeah. Oh, for
communicating
sure.
with others. Because sometimes I'm like, okay, how I have to think and I have to rehearse how I'm going to speak, because I try being friendly, doesn't work. Okay, so I'm going to be threatening. It doesn't work
Mhm.
either. Okay, so I am going to pull rank, which I hate. Didn't work either. So what next? That is very energy consuming to me. That's the worst part. But once you get it done, then you feel very accomplished, because
Mhm.
what you consider yourself to be the hardest for you to do, and you finally got it done.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and I think having like one of the best books that I read a while back was Emotional EQ, and that has really helped me um, really like refine my interpersonal skills, which I think that's a really critical thing to internal politics or to working with certain groups. There are just going to be certain people are just going to be hard to work with. And I think some of the hardest challenges I've seen in my new position with client services, and it's not really a challenge for me per se, but I've definitely had some growing pains, we will say. And I have great mentors at Outpost or at Grant Thornton. But one of the things is like knowing how to communicate with each client. And you talked about this, Lola, like each person's going to be different. And you have to figure out like what is going to be the best approach, because it's not a one size fit all for everybody, even for your team members. Like certain individual culture, you're going to have cultural divides. You're going to have organizational cultural divides there. Like I work a lot in the federal space. So if you've never worked in the federal space, it is very different than the commercial sector. I've done about I've been about 16 or 17 years in the federal space and only about 3 or 4 years in the commercial sector. And I they both have good and bads about them. But I will definitely say either both of them both had politics. They were just different. And so for you, I like the best advice I could give somebody on like figuring out how to communicate, read the book Emotional EQ. That'll help. But then just be yourself. Be super authentic. Be yourself, and I believe that'll have that because you have so much confidence, just let the confidence out. And
I have lots of confidence when I am on an interview 101 that you are asking me questions that I have
yeah,
answered a million times, so I have them very well rehearsed, and I can answer to you in a very eloquent way. So I'm kind of giving anyone who is watching this a false sense of confidence, but that's not always the case. If I am caught out of off guard with something that I have not rehearsed, or yeah, it's
prepared for.
to me,
Yeah.
yeah.
I get that. Yeah, like if you're briefing a client and you're not expecting questions, and the next thing you know, they start asking you tons of technical questions, or your boss or a team member, it can definitely throw you off. I think
Actually, with oh yeah, I know. Like until a few minutes ago, I was saying, "Oh, that one doesn't want to do it," and how I'm gonna. And I might have given the impression that I have issues with my coworkers, and that could not be further from the truth. I work in a
yeah.
wonderful company. I get along with like the vast majority of people who I have, because there are many people in the company, and there are people who I have not worked with beyond
Mhm.
sending them an email, listen, I need you to do this and that. But there are people who I have worked closely, and they have been all been wonderful. But
Yeah.
it's like you said, the differences, you know.
Mhm.
And by my nature, I am a person who likes to carefully plan everything and schedule anything. And then I have a person who is like, "Do you have a minute for a call?" I'm like, this already throws me away. No, no, I don't
Yeah.
have a minute for a call. Why don't you didn't you tell me that a week ago?
Yeah.
It's unscheduled and it's a call. I don't do calls. I need to see the person's face when I speak to them. I don't do phone calls. No, I don't have a minute for a call. What do you want? Am I should I be worried?
Yeah.
It's a little bit
Yeah.
different. I see the other interactions are a little bit different. People do that, and to me, I just freeze. I can't. So it's something that I have to figure out how to act.
I think it'll just be time. I think as you go through it, like your confidence is going to grow, and you're just going to, it's going to be a natural progression for you. I don't think it's going to be something you can force for
Oh no,
sure.
I have been like this since birth.
Yeah.
I don't like unscheduled things.
So there's something that annoys me too is about the like last minute meetings, like getting meetings canceled last minute, rescheduled. That's probably been the number one thing that I'm trying to like be okay with. I time block my days. Like everything is very organized because I have extreme ADHD. And so everything is super like I
Yeah,
need
and
to
I'm
do
autistic, you
it.
know. I
Yeah.
need my routine to be
Yeah.
carefully planned.
Yes.
And if someone destroys my planning, I don't know what to
Right.
do. Someone cancels a meeting with like a 3 minutes before. I'm like,
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm here in my chair and I'm staring, and I don't know what to do with the rest of my hour, because since I woke up, I had planned it
Yeah.
in this hour I will be seeing this person. I had already rehearsed
Yeah.
what we were gonna talk, and it's gone.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah. Being more agile.
why did you do this to me? Do you
Yeah.
know what have you done? And of course, I can't say this. It's maybe not very professional, but maybe
It's
they
tough.
don't know
Yeah.
my circumstances.
Yeah. I have to be more agile. I know it. I know it. And that's just, it's like being more flexible with my schedule a little bit, but still having structure. And I haven't figured that out yet. I like my co-host and one of my best friends, Erica McDuffie's like, seems like she's got that like whole time blocking flexibility down. But yeah, when a client wants a meeting, you got to stop everything and go have a meeting. And it'll sometimes wreck my day because I have like multiple computers too. I don't know, you probably don't have, but I have like, so I'll be working on one computer and then I need to have a meeting over in here. And then a meeting just got scheduled last minute. And so I feel like in this field though, you've got to learn to be like super agile and be able to like flex, or that could be part of like having that burnout because you're too structured. And maybe that's what's up
I
with
am
us. We're
extremely
too
structured.
structured. Yeah, I have to be structured or nothing's going to get done, Lola. I'm going to be like, literally, if I don't structure my day, I've tried it and I have to stop myself because I'll be like, bing, 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 bing. And I'll be trying to task and then I'll be off that and moving over here. Everything will be like, there'll be 15 things that'll be like half finished by 10 a.m. And I'm like, this is a train wreck. It's an absolute and I started working at 8 a.m. and literally it'll be like, because I'll start doing something, I'll think of something else. I'm like, okay, I'll come back to that. Start doing the other thing, and then I'll think of something else. Yeah, it's
Uh,
um,
that I don't. I will not start something until I haven't finished what I was doing.
oh, see, no, that's my problem.
And
That's why I have it
and
time blocked because
to
I
me,
need to just
it
sit.
brings me extreme anxiety
Yeah,
when, like, it's known that I'm working on this, and I have it in my head. I'm not moving from this chair until it's done,
yeah, yeah,
because I know that maybe for the neurotypicals that works, that take those Pomodoro breaks, work for 10 minutes, rest. No, no, this does not work for me. If something breaks me, I will not come back. Maybe I will never come back to that.
yeah,
So I can't. I don't have breaks. My break is when I finish.
yeah,
Then I can have a break until whenever I want. So I really don't like starting something new until I have not finished. And this is something maybe it's very hard for me. And I if the work really really requires me to do, I will. I'm
yeah,
happy what I will. But it's my norm to absolutely finish something until I start something new.
yeah. Me,
This is how
it
I
doesn't
work.
make. Yeah, no, you're spot on. That's the exact is 100% what happens to me. I will sometimes get so overwhelmed when I don't time block. I freak out. I have like almost a panic attack. So I take the book out and then I'm like, okay, I literally will say out loud, I'm like, okay, you need to write down everything that you need to do. And then you need to number the most priority things. And I will. And I've done this like usually once a month. I'll do that because I like let my time blocking go. And then I write everything down that's like obviously out. And then I number it or star it of like the 3 things that I will accomplish that day, period. And then I like calm down again. And then I go back into like time blocking. But yeah, it's tough. It's very tough, that agile thing, because I start trying to be like really consistent with time blocking, and then last minute meetings are posted and it wrecks like the middle of the day or something. So I don't know. I don't know what the solution is for that. I don't know, Lola. If anybody's watching this and has a good solution they want to provide me on how to be more agile for Lola and I to be more agile,
Please.
please let us know because I haven't figured it out. Yeah.
Yeah, no, no, I hear.
Yeah, and I get really overwhelmed. Like I'll be like, "Whoa," and I'll be like, okay. And I know it's happening. I'll be like, okay, but that's my personality. It's part of my personality. Like when I do my personality test, I'm very like, it's weird. I like to think outside the box and be creative, but I need things to be like really structured in my day to day. I need everything to be like a box, but it's hard to work in that like that in the space. You can't work like that. You need like that flexibility to be able to be agile, meet with people at the last minute. Yeah, girl. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Working
know,
on it.
I know, I know. Yes, I think flexibility is kind of like the how can I say it? Yeah, a word that you see everywhere. Oh, people want people to be flexible because it's so cool to be flexible because
Yeah.
flexible this. I'm like, yes, I was very flexible when I was a ballerina. I could do crazy splits and over splits. I was that that
Yeah.
kind of flexibility I have. But this
Yeah.
flexibility is the hardest.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, Kimberly's like, good statement by Kimberly talking about working in hospitality. She said hospitality had to always be agile. It just had a requirement. You either went with the flow or you worked in the back office, as in counting. That's funny. Yeah, and you're flexible, Kimberly. Like, I could not imagine Kimberly McKnight being in a job that was like, nope, this is how it, like, you thrive. Like, you're really good at like doing a lot of things. But yeah, no.
Yeah,
It makes
I
me
wish.
anxious thinking about it right now. I'm like, what? There's no structure? Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I like my structure. I like my structure.
Are you
I
okay? So let me ask you this. So, and this is what I try to tell people like when I'm dating and stuff, like I am super structured during the week, but when it is like my personal life, my romantic life, my friend life, I am that person. Like if I came to see you, Lola, I would literally be like, all right, I'm going to plan A to C. And A to C is like, all right, I'm flying to Japan and I'm getting a hotel in the area that's close to you. B is like all the middle stuff. I wouldn't plan anything. I would just figure it out once I got there and be like, yeah, let's do whatever. I want, so that's not structured. Like I'm very like, whatever, whenever like a weekend comes. Or is your, do you do that or your
see.
weekends?
I would not do that. Absolutely not. I am not your person to be like, yo, what's up? What are you doing? Let's go have a. I'm like, no, this is not scheduled. Let me see my calendar and let's see. I need at least 1 week to prepare myself to see you because I need
Yeah,
to rehearse lots of things in my head. It can't be like this. I'm not ready for you. You
that's
are
so funny.
intruding yourself in a routine that it didn't include you.
I get that. Yeah.
It's like yo. So no, no, no. We are gonna see the calendar, and when we. No, I don't care if it's like a 30-minute coffee. Like, yo, can we go now? No, no, we can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. You're so on that point, I'm very similar to that. Like if people just drop into DC and I had somebody recently, I hadn't met her in person. I just know her through LinkedIn, but she reached out to me and she was like, "Hey, I'm in DC, love to connect." And it was on LinkedIn. I wrote her back and I went, "Okay, great. How long are you here for?" And then she writes me like 6 hours later and she's like, "Oh, just for the night." And I'm like, "What?"
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
I need
Why
a
didn't
little
you
more
tell
time
me
than
that
that.
like two
Yeah.
weeks ago? So I would have planned myself to be
Right.
available
Like,
for
you
that.
know, you're coming. So we're similar in that, like, I'm like, no,
Absolutely.
it's so busy and everything. And with
Like
work and
I told
school.
you I might be planning a trip to the US in
Yeah, you
November,
did.
but I will let you know if
Yep.
I'm gonna be stopping in your area at the very least with 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah, no, I'm
So
the
you
same way on that. Yeah. But like when you get here, are you somebody, so like if I go somewhere, I'll let you know I'm coming, but are you somebody like if you when you come to America, are you going to have your entire like you're here for 5 days? Is it going to be packed out like what you're going to do, where you're going to stay, who you're going to see, or is it going to be
yes.
fluid? Yeah. Oh
No,
my
no,
gosh. It's
fluently.
like
No, 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 absolutely not. No, no, I have my days planned to the hour. No,
yeah, that's where
I'm
we're different because I'm just kind of like
no,
YOLO, whatever. Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
There's no.
That's so funny.
It brings me anxiety. I need to be in control of my time.
Yeah.
Time is precious.
That is
I carefully plan my free time too. For
yeah.
example, I on Saturday I do not want to hear the word cybersecurity. I will do whatever, all
Yeah.
things that have nothing to do. It's a fun time. But then I wake up. okay, from this time to this time, I will watch this movie, and later I have a playlist on my head. When that's over, I'm gonna get out of bed, I'm gonna come here, and I'm gonna play my game, my train management game. And I come here. Oh, yeah, I have it all planned in my, and this is a source of a little bit of because my husband, he's a little bit more on this spontaneous kind of person, and I'm here with my day all planned, and he comes like, "You hungry?" I'm like, no. Wanna go eat?" I'm like, "No. Why didn't you tell me that?" Like, no, it's not on my schedule. I'm sorry. No. Yeah, it happens.
Oh my God,
He
that's
knows
so
he
funny.
knows the way that I am, and I know the way that he is. Sometimes I might have to compromise and say yes to not upset the household peace. Okay,
That is
that's
so
going.
funny.
Like, oh my god, my schedule is like fwah, fwah, fwah.
That's so funny. Yeah, I
I
know.
can
No,
tell
I totally
he
get
sounds.
that.
Well, I know that for anyone who hears this and doesn't have this type of personality, it might
Hmm.
sound boring. It might sound like so strict and so. But I can't help it. I'm just trying to put into words how my brain works. It's and I feel very happy and very relaxed like that. Being otherwise brings me extreme anxiety to be on the unknown.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And having to shift everything. Yeah,
Yes, it
I
brings me
know.
extreme anxiety.
Just in work, I think when it's the weekend and stuff like that, I think I go totally to the opposite where I just don't plan anything. I'm veg out. Well, I'm usually just doing homework all weekend right now. But yeah, very much relate. Al was saying a comment in here. He said, um, I wish I had that much discipline. Yeah.
Bob, I know Bob.
Oh, Bob Bob's up in here. I know. Bob Bob is like, shout out to you.
Hi,
He said, come
Bob.
to America. Yeah, we definitely want you to come
Bob
to
always
America.
comes to join us in the INE live stream
Heck yeah,
where I
Bob Bob.
moderate.
We do have a lot of divas in the Outpost Gray community. I love it. Lily, oh my God, it's good to see
Really?
you.
Hi.
I love that. We do. Hey, Lily. What's
I'm
up?
so
What's
sorry.
up?
I'm here trying to I'm watching Jack's face, and I'm not looking at the chat. I'm so sorry if I there is someone else that I know that is on the chat that I have not say hi. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, everybody was saying hi. Yeah, we've got quite a few people. Yeah, that's awesome. I would love for you to come to the States, and I know a group of us would get together. I'd love to see you come out this way. Kimberly, maybe you can come up to DC, come and do a meet and greet that way. Yeah, we'll figure that out. So let's get back. I want to ask you, because we're coming up, we've got about 10 minutes left, and there's a couple more questions that I want to ask you. And one of them is like talking about like who you are and your personality. And we've known each other for a little over a year, and we've had some pretty deep conversations. There's some things that you know about me and I know about you, and you overall have this essence of joy in your life. Like you're always smiling, you're always outgoing, you're always encouraging. I know that you have anxiety and all these things now. We've talked
I
about
am
it.
outgoing because I already learned that if I have this smiley personality, people like this more in the interview in the camera.
That's awesome. She's like, but when the camera goes off, yeah, but you're still like we've talked outside with the cameras off, and you have this like your energy about you is just very contagious. Like you're just one of those people that I love being around. That's probably I know that was one of the reasons why I reached out to you to be the first guest.
Likewise.
Yeah, because I
That's
knew
why I
your
said yes.
energy was good. Yeah, your energy was good. I'm like, man, I need a guest on the show that is going to come on and bring the energy. And I also wanted a woman because I'm big about uplifting
Ladies
women in the
power.
space. Yes. So for the question for you is like, putting on that mask is one thing, but I really believe like who you are is like part of your essence. It's your soul. And I think that's a conscious decision. I'm curious, like, it's not easy in our career field in life as general to always be happy and joyful. So what do you do to maintain that, to keep yourself like up And if you do have a bad day, how do you combat that? What is something that you do to help you get out of that rut?
I think that, of course, maybe in many other fields it is the same, but I think in our field, in our line of work, there is always this. People are always so ambitious, and they are a little bit competitive, and you're so focused on career growth, and you're already thinking ahead. And that's awesome. I mean, I'm that way, so I wouldn't talk bad about myself. Of course, I'm always thinking I'm what I'm gonna do next, where I see myself in 5 years and whatnot. But I think you have to see yourself as a whole, as a person, and your career might be like a big part of who you are as a person, but there should be something else. Don't forget other things that you like too, you know?
Hmm.
I mean, being a workaholic is good. It's fine. I mean, I am the kind of person that I go to my bed with my phone, and sometimes I'm like almost falling asleep, and I hear a notification, and someone like is slacking me something for work, and I will reply. I'm always falling asleep, but I will reply. And maybe someone who's not workaholic will say, "Oh, forget it, it's out of business." But
Yeah.
anyway, um, yeah, if you don't take care of yourself, nobody will. And
Yeah.
if that you can't find that in a partner, because I feel if you are seeking someone else to make you happy, you're not going to be happy, and you're not going to be able to make the other party happy too. You have to be happy first yourself in order to make someone else happy. So yeah, I think if you don't take care of yourself first, nobody will. See
Yeah.
yourself as a whole, as a person. Like I am a cybersecurity engineer. That is maybe it's a big part of my life, obviously, since I feel that I'm still a cybersecurity engineer in the making. There's lots of things that I still want to learn, but there are many other things that I like. Yeah, I'm back to studying German.
Oh, that's awesome.
I I mean, my German I have been in Germany so many times, and I lived there a little bit, but haven't practiced German in a while. I'm back to studying German because it's something that I find it maybe one day is gonna be useful for me. So that has nothing to do with me being a cybersecurity person. I like music, so I will watch that music. I like educating myself in all sorts of information, and I take time for that. Like I said, on my Saturdays, that I want nothing to do with cybersecurity. I take care of the other side of me
Hmm.
that needs something else besides cybersecurity, and that helps me as a whole, as a person. So I am
Yeah.
happier, and if I am happier, I can do my job better. I
Hmm.
come back on Monday happier.
Yeah.
I think that's all it takes. I
100%.
mean, that's what
Phil,
works for me.
so Phil dropped something in the chat here. Throw it up here. That's in German. Do you know what that is? Can you see it?
He
Yeah.
gets he's asking how I am.
Oh, that's awesome. Nice, Phil. Nice. Testing her out.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Yeah. Alice said, preach, preach. He's all about it. Jess says, heck yeah. And then Bob's all about it. Awesome. You go, Lola. Yeah. It sounds like what you're saying is definitely resonating. It's resonating with me. I think it's really important to have that separation. It is a community. I view like my cybersecurity world is my community. Outpost Gray is my family, in a way. There's a lot of you, including you, Lola, like that are on this stream that I talk to one on one. It's a lot though, and you need to make that time for yourself. But I, on the other hand, don't. I literally, somebody asked me, like, what do you do in your free time? I was like, study. They're like, what do you study? Cybersecurity. They're like, oh, you run a brand? What is it? I was like, cybersecurity. They're like, oh, you have a podcast? What is it? Cybersecurity. They're like, do you do anything other than cybersecurity? I'm like, not at this period in my life, but I will. I will. I just have to get through
You know,
this.
but
And then,
if that is that
like,
at this point is making you happy, you
yeah,
are like at peace with yourself, you are taking
yeah,
care of yourself, there is nothing wrong with that. There was
yeah,
a point, if you spoke with me like maybe like 2 years ago, oh,
yeah.
my entire life was studying the computer thing. Oh yes, it was weekends, it was nights. I would do from the time I woke up until that's all I
Yeah.
thought about because I wanted it so bad. I needed to change careers and I wanted to get in it like as fast as I could, you know.
Yeah.
And I
Yep.
wanted so yeah, I dedicated my whole existence to
Yeah.
only do that.
I need a break
But
though.
right now I'm in a point of obviously I still have like a whole world of things to learn. I'm not saying that I know everything. I, like right, I can take care of my job responsibilities, but I can do it better. I can
Yeah.
improve. There's always room for improvement. But as of now, I am in a point of my life that I need a time that I am only me. I'm not the cybersecurity engineer anymore.
Mhm.
And by doing that, by taking that time that I'm away from any of that, it's actually helped me be better at it when I come back.
I love that. Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's
it's
recharging.
not that I'm wasting time. That maybe I should be studying like for the CISSP or I should be studying for the AWS security. No, no, it will get done. It will get done.
Yeah.
I have my downtime during business hours that I do my studies too.
Yeah.
But I need during the weekend and whatnot. I need time to do things that have nothing to do with that,
Mhm.
and that helps me as a whole to come back when I'm back in business to do whatever it is that I need to do better.
Yeah. No, it
Maybe
does. You
when
need that recharge.
I don't know, maybe if you speak with me like in 2 or 3 months from now, I will be crazy trying to get the certification. I'm gonna be back to studying like in whenever minute I have free.
Yeah.
But as of now, as this moment in my life, I need to take a little bit of time off
Mm.
work
I love
because
that.
I have a job that demands a lot of me. So I need to like recalibrate my brain to come back
Recalibrate.
Monday.
Yeah. Like, yeah, do something different that helps with the creative juices. Like, yeah, I have a dinner thing on Friday. I almost turned down with a nonprofit, the Special Operations Association. I almost said no. However, it was going to get me into a community of people that are not cybersecurity related. And I'm like, yeah, I probably should do that for my health. Like, do something other than. So I love that you have that balance. Okay, Lola. So we're definitely on time right now. But before I move you out to the green room, I want to give you the stage to be able to just address all of the viewers right now and do some final words with them, some final thoughts before we close out the show. So I will
Well,
let you.
first of all, I want to say thank you everyone who joined live, and thank you whoever watches this like when it's not live anymore. Thank you very much. Hit the like button, give Jax a thumbs up, subscribe to her channel because she has many great guests and she posts lots of awesome content, like much better than me and whatnot. So make sure to subscribe to her channel. And yeah, if you guys want to connect with me, my socials are somewhere in there, I think in the chat. What else can I say? Shout out to Neil Bridges. Shout out to all my A&E co-workers and everyone that invite everyone to Japan. Bob, I am like counting the minutes that I can finally get out of Japan. You want to come here? I want to get out. No, it's not gonna happen. But yes, shout out to everyone who makes my career better, who supports me in my daily life as a cybersecurity engineer. All you guys are awesome. Thank you very much. And
Oh, I love that.
that is all.
That is amazing. You're such a beautiful person, inside and out. So happy to have you back on the show a year later. We might just need to make this a regular occurrence, annual event every year, and we need to like reconnect, and we'll make it even bigger. Kimberly, we'll need to reach out to Kimberly because she knows how to do things. Like we'll market it, maybe make the background a little bit bigger. It'll be fun, and we'll start thinking about it from a year, and let's like, ooh, here, let's timestamp this. So this is recorded, everyone. How many subscribers do you think we'll have 1 year from today next year? What am I trying to say? How many subscribers will we have from a year from today? I will say for Outpost Gray, we're at a little over 1,000 right now. I think we could get to 5,000 next year.
I
So,
would say 10,000.
oh my God. I always go too low. So let's do 8,000. Everybody, what do you guys think? 8,000 or 10,000? What do you think we should shoot for? She said, oh, Kimberly says 5K minimum. All right, I like it. I always go a little low. 10K. Bob said 10K. All right. All right. We have 2 votes for 10K. Oh, Samir said millions. You know what? I like you. I like
Millions. I like that.
Thanks. That's awesome.
Millions.
Yep,
That's awesome.
I love it.
10.
All right. Lily said 10 all day. All right. You know what? 10. All right. It's 10. All right, Lola. It's 10. 10K we're doing
10K.
it.
10K.
All right. 10K.
Let's go.
Awesome.
10K.
Woo! Year from today, we're gonna do this again. And Carrie, thank you. $1 trillion. Oh my God. Love it. Love this community. All right, Lola, you're awesome. I'm gonna send you back to the green room now. Closing this out.
Thank you.
I love you. Bye, girl.
Love you. Bye.
Oh my gosh, I adore her so much. I know we're already over the time. Want to just thank everybody for coming to the show. You guys are the reason that I do this show. It was amazing to share this 1-year anniversary with all of you. You're the reason that this is possible. So thankful. Again, shout out to both Lola and my mentor, Neil Bridges. Big fan of him. Go check him out. And then just one quick reminder, you all, next week's show, we're doing the female voice of technology and innovation with Sonia Moisette. But more importantly, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., make sure to drop into the YouTube channel and watch this pre-recorded episode. It's great content that we put out, 7 minutes or less. And James Driscoll is one of the content developers. So really happy to have him on the Outpost Gray team. All right, that is going to close it out. If you are on here, what I would tell you to do is head over to Simply Cyber, Gerald Ozier's show, and make sure to hop in the chat and throw in there #OutpostGray so he knows you just came from here. And let's go ahead and rate his show and support him. You guys are the best. Max 15K. Possibly. That's a good number. I like it though. All right, I'm signing out. Hey Josh, good seeing you. Bye all. Bye.